my name is NURUL IZZATI binti Muhammad ANUAR and my ID number is
2022878944.
Today I will do a radiographic procedure for AP open MOHD, which is projection for cervical spine. Okay, let's go.
Before that, I will explain about our vertebral column. Our vertebral column consists of 5 divisions, which is cervical vertebra, thoracic vertebra, lumbar vertebra, sacrum and coccyx. Total of our vertebral column are 33 for child and 26 for adult. For cervical vertebra, it consists of 7 spines, referred as C1 to C7. C1 also called as atlas and C2 as axis. Instead of atlas C1, first odontoid process or dance is actually part of C2 by a superior perspective of C1. Rather than 2 laminar and a spinous process found in typical vertebra, C1 has a posterior arch that generally bears a small posterior tubercle at the midline. Superior facet is a large depressed surface present on superior articular process. It is for articulation of occipital condyles of skull, and the articulation is between C1 and occipital condyle called atlanto-occipital joint. Next, transverse process of C1 is smaller but still contains transverse foramina. Lateral mass C1 is a segment of bone between superior and inferior articular process. It supports weight of head and assists in rotation of head. It is most bulky and solid part in C1. For axis C2, the odontoid process or dance is actually body of C1, but it fused to C2 during development. It acts as pivot for rotation of head that occur between C1 and C2. Transverse process with its transverse foramen is below and lateral to superior articular process, and the spinous process is blunt with its bifid tip extend posteriorly. For clinical indication, pathology involving C1 and C2 and adjacent soft tissue structure, and it can demonstrate odontoid and Jefferson fractures. Radiography anatomy review for AP open MOHD is: first, A is odontoid process or dance, B is left transverse process of C1, C is left lateral mass of C1, then D is inferior articular surface of C1, E is left atlantoaxial joint, F is body of C2, and next G is right superior articular surface of C2.
First, I will make sure the room is ready and comfortable for patient to come in and for the examination. I will lower down the table for patient to get on easily. Then I will prepare the gonad shield for protection. The lab marker is to determine the site of image. I also will get a sponge for support for patient's head.
Technical factors that is required is the IR size must be 18-24 cm or 24-30 cm, and the IR orientation must be portrait. The SID is 100 cm. It must be in grade. For KVP, the range is between 65 to 75, and the MAS is 8 to 50.
I will use cassette 18-24 cm. Then I will set the KVP 70 and the MAS is 10. Everything is set up, so I will call the patient to come in. Mr. Batis, you can come in. Hi, I'll be your radiographer for today, and we are going to do an AP open MOHD projection. May I know your full name and your ID number?
My name is Natasha. My ID number is 041011030338.
Okay. Next patient. When is your last period cycle?
1 week ago.
Okay.
For patient position, patient must in supine position and the head on table is without a pillow or put a sponge for head support, and the arms is along the side of trunk, and both shoulder must lie in the same horizontal plane. For part position, we need to make sure the MSP of head is perpendicular to the table or IR plane. When we adjust head with mouth open, the line from lower margin of upper incisor to mastoid tip is perpendicular to table. We must make sure no rotation, which is mandibular angle and mastoid tip is equal distance from IR. We also need to make sure the mouth is open as much as possible.
Can you open your mouth?
For CR, we must direct CR to center of open mouth and make sure to center IR to CR. Next, for collimation, we can take 4 sides of anatomy of interest.
Okay dah.
For radiation protection apparatus is needed to shield radiosensitive organs outside ROI, so we can use bonnet shield. Never forget to put lead marker in the right position.
Miss Balkis, don't move. Set 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay, the shield is done now. Can get up.
Lastly, the image evaluation that must be included is the contrast and density are adequate to demonstrate the bony structure of atlas and axis. Penetration is sufficient to visualize the bony trabecular patterns and cortical outlines of atlas lateral mass and the transverse process, also the axis then spinous process and the body. Next, atlas and axis must demonstrate a true epiprojection, which atlas is symmetrically sit on the axis with the atlas lateral mass at equal distance from the dens. Then, the spinous process of axis is aligned with the midline of axis body, and mandibular rami are demonstrated at equal distance from lateral mass. Moreover, upper incisors and posterior occiput inferior edge are demonstrated superior to the dens and the atlanto-axial joint. Next, the dens is centered within the collimated field. Then, atlanto-axial and atlanto-occipital joint, the atlas lateral mass and transfer process, axis dens and body are included within the field. Also, shadow of the tongue is not projected over the atlas and axis.